You're welcome. Okay. Yes. It's a new face. Welcome to a new dispensation. I hope I'm welcome. Yes. I am going to be leading your discussion today on the final part of your project management course so far. My name is Young Solomon Godwin. I'm an architect. I've worked with several organizations, be it in the construction industry, Urban Shelter Construction Limited, they are real estate, and of course, I've had affiliation with international organization for migration on a short-term project, and I think pension basically for about 2 years. Then of course, with AfriEd for 4 months on software development program, which I happen to be the project assistant. And of course, I also run 1 or 2 with Dexter and Heroes Consulting when it comes to the operations of the organization in Dexter and Heroes. So that's why most times you see that I am the one communicating with you guys on the various WhatsApp groups. So I welcome you to your class this morning. So those of us online want to remember the ground rules. Keep our mics muted. I'm sure we are all familiar with this. Our mics remains muted throughout the course of our discussion. And of course, our camera should be off. I know we have beautiful people. We have people who have aesthetics houses to show, but we are not interested in looking at that now. But maybe after our class, you may put your camera on so that we can see your fine face. And anybody that wants to network, let me use the word network professionally, but you all know what I'm talking about. Just a moment. So it's free to network, but let's do it ideally. But for the major networking should usually happen in physical class. You need to actually see the person, you have a discussion. If it is project initiation you want to have, why not? If it is execution, if it is planning, it is physical meeting is quite important. You're welcome. Project monitoring and controlling. How far so far with your discussion on project management? You have been able to talk about initiation, am I correct? You have been able to see that there are 2 processes involved for you to successfully initiate your project. One of them is for you to do what? Develop a project charter. And the second one is for you to identify stakeholders. And you went all the way to planning after your initiation process. And there are 24 processes involved in planning your project. And of course, I think that took about 2 classes for you to finish. Then the next one was execution, which I think happened within the midweek, where you had to have the discussion on project execution. Today, we'll be looking at monitoring and controlling, and of course, closing of your project. The point is, monitoring and controlling usually takes longer time. It takes about 2 classes to finish this very course. So at any point we finish, please, it is quite important that I will share, that we'll go through the materials I'm going to share maybe later on. Or again, we might also put it this way. If it is also possible, maybe within the week, we can just come together again on Zoom and conclude. So that at the end of the day, you may be able to ascertain all the things we are going to learn during our controlling. Now, the reason why I usually make this flexible is because there is a part where we have to do calculation. Yes. Don't worry. Do not worry yourself. If it is for that calculation, by the end of this particular phase of our project management discussion, anywhere in the world, any mass they give to you, you will solve it. Yes. Put it anywhere, you will solve it. So let's begin. Yes. So when I say monitor your projects, as it is being executed, it means tracking your project as it's being executed and providing control mechanism. Our class is going to be a discussion one. We are going to be interactive. So please feel free. Yes, I know it is a change of facilitator, so it comes with a whole lot of mixed feelings, but do not worry. We are going to enjoy ourselves. That's what I do in my class. So to monitor means to check, to be certain that your team members are following the plan. Two things in mind. If you look at your screen, two things: monitoring and what? Controlling. It is when you monitor that you can control. If you don't monitor, you can't control. Are we together? So, situation where your team members are deviating from the scope. They are deviating from the activities that has been spelled out in the plan. That's when you begin to provide control. Okay, somebody's mic is on. Infinix X. You know the ground rule and you know the penalty for this. We put you in the waiting room. That's what happened. We just put you in the waiting room and you miss out. And sometimes we share money. Yes. And your account number will not be there. So that's it. You understand? So a simple example will be that the plan says an activity should last for 7 days. An activity should last for 7 days. By the 6th day, you still need additional 3 to 4 days to finish up. How did you know? How did you know? Yes. So we gave you 7 days to carry out an activity. On the 6th day, you know that on the 7th day you will not finish. How did you know? The word is on your screen. It's just a simple word. So we gave you 7 days to carry out an activity. And on the 6th day, you are beginning, this work will not be finished. You know they happen. How you did know say you know will finish on the 7th day? Because say you don't they monitor, they see how. Do you understand? Very easy. So, like I made mention before, it's only when you monitor that you can control. So how did you know that tomorrow will not work? Because you have been monitoring. Somebody's camera is on. Your house is very fine. So, what's my objective at that point? Day 6, day 7 is just tomorrow. What's my objective? Remember when you guys were discussing about activities? There's a critical activities. Am I correct? There are critical activities. Critical activities means an activity that cannot be what? Delayed. No matter how, you have to finish it that day. So if it is a critical activity, what are those control mechanisms you begin to think of? The next thing you want to think of is, okay, I have 5 people that have been working on this activity for the past 6 days. Is it possible that I increase the number of workers? Yes. That's a solution. That's a control. Are we together? Yes. That's control you are providing. Oh, it's not a critical activity. I think we can afford to extend it more days. I think let's shift it. Is that also a control? Yes. Control is a function of what you can afford. Control is what? A function of what you can afford. So if you can afford it, why not? You just go ahead and the other. So the control we want to adopt here is for us to increase number of workers. Now, if I ask us, is that a control strategy? Yes. Yes, the answer is yes. So there are many different things you want to monitor when your project is ongoing. There are parameters that we use. It is when you monitor these parameters, that's when you get to know know how your project is going, to tell whether you are on track or not. You understand? Let me use medical terms here. When you go to the hospital, you are not feeling so well. The first thing they want to do is, I think there's this room where they call it vital signs. Am I correct? You go there, they'll check your heart, They will check your blood temperature. They may even refer you to a lab. They will remove some of your blood and run some tests and all of that. Then it is when they do these things, then before they will begin to administer drugs to you. Am I correct? Yes. Same thing happens in engineering. For some of us who are quite familiar with maybe driving across town. For me, I don't drive, but I've sat with so many people that drive. And once they are driving, they'll be telling you, they get one sound why they hear from my engine. Me, I don't hear them. But why are they hearing the sound? Because they know how their vehicle sounds. So the next thing they do is, they just want to park and find out whether noise is coming from. And for me, I don't hear anything. So the next thing he wants to do is place a call to his mechanic and say, see, I hear one sound from here, and the mechanic will be able to make some prescription per se and say, look, okay, I think saying that this one, okay, can you come to where I am? And he comes and he check and say, okay, fine. Now this one and this one, I ain't wrong. I think in the next 2 weeks, you'll be able to manage it. But please, after 2 weeks, bring it to the workshop so that we can fix it. Those people that you see their vehicle on the road, parked with one leg like this, they were not monitoring. They were not monitoring. They have attitude of Toyota people. No matter how you hear they die. Have you? Yes. You understand? So same thing in your project. As your project is ongoing, you need to look for those vital signs. Like I said, control is a function of what you can afford. You understand? And I will tell you, simple example. This class is also online. Am I correct? Yes. For some of us, because of our timing, we may not afford to be here. And we decided to say we want to join online. For some of us, I don't like that online class, I beg. I like to be present at the venue. It's what you can afford. It's because you can afford it. That's why you are here. Do you understand? Now, I'm going to put it to you guys that for the past, at least, within now, in the past 10 years, we have been adopting a lot of control mechanism in our various lives, families, friendship, relationship. What control mechanism did you apply during the Ebola outbreak? You stop shaking hands with people. You stop going to anybody cough, you run away. Am I correct? Those are control. Some people were drinking salt, some people were bathing with salt. Those are control to them. I don't know where they got it from. Those are control mechanisms. Knowingly or unknowingly, you put all of these things into practice. How did you manage with COVID-19? You sit at home, face masks, hand sanitizer. Anybody cough, oh, you get corona. Then you begin to give distance. Those are control. Some of us went to do vaccination. Am I correct? Those are control mechanisms. There was a point where if you are not vaccinated, you can't leave the country. You can't travel. Those were control mechanisms. Please, it's not as if I'm reminding you of bad news that we have passed, but it is part of life. Cash Naira redesign, 2023. That one is still fresh. How many of us bought 5,000 with 500 or 1,000? Yes. But do you notice something? When you have 5,000 Naira, you know you're a billionaire. You will just hold it. You will go to the supermarket. You want to use your card. You want to make transfer. You will go to someone that is selling pepper. You want to make transfer to a pepper seller. Because the cash you have, you want to do what? Protect it for when it is when it is important for you to use it. And most times it's because you will need to, even some of us transfer to along drivers. I did. So you see that you will be say 10,000 when they stay your hand 2 days. Before, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you have been managing 10,000 and you still have a bunch. Those are control. Or is it now the fuel pump price that we're having, that we're currently experiencing? So many of us now know shortcuts. So many of us know along. Uber don't stop. Where do I enter to get to this point? Where do I get to this point? I'm coming to Dexter Heroes Consulting. I'm coming from Jabi. I check Uber now, 5,000. Line, make I enter Kekeri Airport Junction. From there to Jabi. From there. Those are controls. But you put all of these things into consideration, knowingly or unknowingly. So when it comes to your project, what happens? You also need to put all of these things. I know it's a bit emotional for us because of the situation rightly affect us. But you know, like the Bible says, I don't know, some of us who are practicing Christian, I think there's somewhere in the Bible that says that we have seen things under the sun, that the swift does not win the race, the mighty does not win the battle. Am I correct? Yes. That the wise ones don't always have the food. The intelligent ones are not the ones with the riches. Am I correct? Yes. No, the people who have knowledge, they are not always the successful ones. All of these things at times are unforeseen occurrence. So many events are overtaking us, or some of us are chasing after life. Life is way, way, way ahead of us. You understand? So, but man, just leave that thing. Let's just focus on this project as monitoring and controlling. Yes. So when you look at your screen, these are the parameters we use to monitor our projects. These are the parameters we use to monitor our project. Now, you need to pay attention to number one. If you look at it, monitor and control project work. The first one there is talking about the assignment itself, monitor and control project work. And the second one is telling me what I should do when I observe changes in my project. So what you want to find out when you are monitoring is, are my team members deviating from the plan compared to the execution? Mm-hmm. When I look at what we plan, and I look at what the result we have been gathering, we have been generating, is there any form of variance, which is what we call change? How do you accommodate that change? What do we do with that change? You understand? So those are the things you need to look for. So when you begin to look at this, and you begin to accommodate such change, or you begin to reach out to the necessary sponsor that needs to help you with this change, is what we call perform integrated change control, which is number 2. So the first one is talking about the assignment. The second one is talking about what you need to do when you observe change. So what are the other vital signs that you watch out for as your project is ongoing? You want to control scope. You want to control schedule. You want to control costs. You want to control quality. You want to control resources. You want to monitor communication. You want to monitor risk. You want to monitor stakeholders' engagement. If you look at your screen very well, you will see that the languages are quite different. There is one to monitor and there is one to control. For example, monitor communication. You did not say control communication. How many of us go to Instablog to read some stories? When they put, even the Instablog itself can twist things. You will give it another heading, and you will read different meanings. And what I do is for me to go to the comment section and actually see different views. You will see opinions. Plenty. You cannot control it once that message is out. Because the way you interpret, the way you perceive it is quite different from the way the other person perceives it. So when you send out information in your organization, as your project is ongoing, you just need to make sure that every individual is carried along and your communication strategy is very, very open. So you need to monitor the information you are sending out as it goes across to stakeholders. You can only monitor risk. You cannot wake up one morning and say, what's your name, man? What's your name? Toluwani. What's your name, man? Anne. I cannot just wake up one morning and say, Toluwani, and they are all risk. No, it's not possible. It is when Toluwani and Anne comes into this class, they came with black bags, very heavy, and they decided to keep it like 3 meters away from them. And all of a sudden, they begin to look around. Look. That's when we begin to suspect something. Am I correct? That's when we begin to say, are you sure these people are not risk? You understand? But as soon as they come in, they sit down, they are smiling, they are not risk to us. We are not looking at them as risk. So you can only monitor it, you cannot control. You understand? Because when it goes off, it goes off. Are we together? Yes. You can control vendors because you are the one that engaged them. Third party, procurement. You can control them. You tell them, this is where you need to position. This is where you need to position. You have a contractual agreement with them, not so. Yes, they must abide by that contractual agreement that you have with them. So you can control them. So if I sublet any part of my work, which is part of my project, to a third party, you understand, that's called procurement. It's way simple. You are coming here this morning. Dexter Heroes and Consulting Limited offers management professional training, as it were. We are not the ones selling bottle of water. We are not the ones selling snacks. Am I correct? There's someone that is designated for that. So we invited him. So you need to be here. We are expecting guests. So they will come. They will need water. They will need snacks. So they are third party. Just a simple example within us that we can see. So part of your project, some of us who bake, some of us who sell perfume, some of us who do some online businesses. Don't you patronize those guys, dispatch riders? They are those you sublet part of your work to, for them to deliver for you. You understand? So basically that's procurement. So you can control them. It is when you need them, that's when you call them. Am I correct? They don't come and resume in your house in the morning because they need to go and deliver goods. You understand? So you can control them and all of that. You cannot control stakeholders' feelings. That's engagement. I have my feelings, you have your feelings. I cannot control. You cannot tell me when to cry and when to stop. You understand? Because stakeholders, they have their different feelings. It's just like those days, our parents will call us, they will spank us. And as you are crying, they are telling you, keep quiet. How? You inflicted a pain, and you are expecting me to do what? And even when the child tries to keep quiet and he holds his mouth, what happens? You see him checking. You'll be checking. You understand? So you can only monitor stakeholders' engagement. You cannot control it. It's simple. Just look out. See, some of them, they will just give you one attitude. You will know, you said you will need to know, see, you need to go find out what's in the business. And that is why during the introduction of your training with us, we told you about classification of stakeholders, not so? Yes. So stakeholders, see, this is their behavior. Group them, classify them, and treat those people, those group of people that like similar things. Treat them separately. You don't know stakeholder where we say if he come, he wants to see you face to face. You don't know stakeholder where we say if he waka enter site, he want me you did here, maybe they explain this give up. And there are stakeholders that they are just interested in the end result. So because of your classification, you now know how to manage such people. You understand? So the whole thing about stakeholders engagement is about dealing with issue as it is originating from the stakeholder. And of course, at the end of the day, when we are done with our project, we invite the sponsor to come and check what we have done so far. And that's what we call validate scope. It is only when the sponsor validates that we have met the requirement, the specification that has been given to us, that's when validate scope. And of course, we close the project. So these are the parameters we are going to be using in carrying out our monitoring and controlling of our work. So monitoring and controlling, so far, these are the things you have to do when you are monitoring and controlling your project work. As you have seen, I think I've shared the manual on the WhatsApp group. Have you seen it? Yes. So I don't want to be reading all of these things because there is a lot for us to do. But for you to monitor and control your project work, you actually want to do all of this. Compare your actual project performance with what your team member is carrying out all the way to this point. So how do we monitor our projects? Or what do I need to monitor in my project? I need project management plan. That's number one. And of course, I need number three, work performance information. I simply want to compare what my team member is doing with what the plan says. I want to compare what the performance, the result my team is generating with what is in the plan. I want to compare, is there any form of variance? That's when you'll be able to know if you need to make an adjustment, where you begin to apply the strategy of managing your project when it is not going according to plan. All right, okay. So every other thing you are seeing there, those are just additional information that you need. But the most important one is number 1 and number 3. So now, how do I go about monitoring and controlling my project? Of course, tools and techniques is one of those things we are going to be using. And our main focus is going to be on end value analysis. So the first one is expert judgment. Came across expert judgment during your session so far? Yes. Go to those people that knows. Ask them. They are like the ancestors. They know everything. Don't make the same mistake that they have made before. These people are experienced. They have the knowledge. Go and meet them. They'll be the one to guide you. Expert judgment. And of course, the next thing is data analysis. So many of us are running our training on data analysis. Am I correct? Yes. So data analysis, we want to check what's the variance. You understand? For variance, for example, let me bring our mind to the class now. So we have an activity that is supposed to take us 2 days. I gave you guys 2 days for you to carry out an activity. We are doing variance analysis now. I gave you 2 days for you to carry out an activity. But you spent 4 days in carrying out that activity. What's the variance? What's the variance? 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. Those of us online, please use the chat box. What's the variance? I gave you 2 days to carry out an activity. You spent 4 days. What's the variance? Yes, what's the variance? Those of us online, please. What's the variance? Are you certain that 2 days is correct? You're not sure? Yes.
Sir, the question again.
The question, I gave you 2 days, so maybe you do something. You can't spend 4 days, stay down. What will be the variance? What will be the difference between the day where I give you and the day where you do the work? So that's what variance is. Variance is when you simply try to find out what you have done compared to what you were supposed to do. 2 days? Everybody's buying 2 days? Everybody's buying 2 days? Will I be correct if I tell you that you are wrong and I'm right when I say it is minus 2 days? You agree? You agree? Yes. Only people that like mathematics will agree. Because I gave you 2 days, you spent 4 days. Maybe minus 2. That's the variance. I'm bringing this now because as we make progress in our calculation, all of these things will come in place. Toluwani, we are here. Don't run. So it's minus 2 days. It's simple now. Toluwani, you went to the market. As soon as you go to the market, you have 100K, you want to use it and buy food stuff. And all of a sudden you saw that week. Say, like this week I will pass. And when you went to the store, they tell you, this week is 150K. Oh. Will you buy? I said to yourself, this 100K, food I suppose you can buy. And they allow installment payment, so you decided to say, okay, I take 50K. I'll come and pay the remaining 100. The remaining 50K you took it to the market. Now, I want to ask you, will you be able to buy the quantity of food 100,000 would have gotten for you with that 50K? No. So is that reading negative already? Yes. Maybe if that food will last you 3 months before with 100K, you find out that it's only 1 month or maybe 6 weeks it will last you. It's already reading minus. Yes. Now, Your Weavon or your wig, your bond trade that you bought, you have told them that let them deduct it from your account as soon as the money comes in. How much are you owing? You're owing 100K. Then 100K just land enter your account. Why you see a lot, you happy before you know you see debit. Do you understand? So that's negative. You have spent more than what is required. So you have bond trade was not in the plan. And now you see where the effect. So it's -2. I hope we all got that analogy correct. We also do that for cost also. We just want to find out which one works for us. Like I think I mentioned before, some of us who already know 1 or 2 ways around our route, instead of us picking a vehicle that will spend so much more money, we have an alternative route. So that also comes with cost. You understand? So trend analysis is also like reading trends. Last week, we're supposed to have finished 20 activity in our project. We did not. 3 weeks ago, we're supposed to have finished 15 activities in our project. We only did 8. This week that we are about to enter, at the end of it, instead of 20 activities, we did just 5. What's the trend here? Are you going to deliver this project as scheduled? Are you going to deliver as scheduled? No, because you're already missing a whole lot of activities behind. So that's trend. When you have done week 1, week 2, week 3, you already see how things are going. You know that you will not meet up the time. So that's trend analysis for you. Root cause analysis. I don't know if during your execution you came across what we call Ishikawa diagram. Cause and effect diagram. It looks like a fish, skeleton of a fish. The problem is always in the head. You understand? So you just want to trace back and find out where errors is coming from. So this bottled water was designed by our organization, and usually simple methods, simple techniques. This is how to close it. But we discovered that when we try to close it, the thing runs out. So where is the error coming from? We want to trace back. Is it coming from the labor? Is it coming from the equipment? Is it coming from the material? Or is it coming from management? Is it coming from our equipment? Is it that, you begin to trace back and find out where this error actually comes from? That's what we mean by root cause analysis. So you just go back and trace where errors is coming from so that you can correct that error from that point. Are we together? So root cause analysis is a method we use to trace back things to see where error is coming from. See, that one is, in fact, that's too much English. Have you misplaced something before? Then you begin to say, now here I keep up. Have you had that experience? You begin to go around. What are you trying to do? You're trying to trace back. You're trying to find out where you have been, where you have not been. Yesterday, I went to, I think somewhere in Games Village. I was going to the bank that very early, and I was holding a pen, special pen. All of a sudden, I didn't see the pen again. I had to walk back. Now find where I saw it, where the thing fell off. That's you tracing back to find out where error is coming from. Basically, that's it. You understand? End value analysis. That's the one we are going to be focusing on. You understand? End value analysis. That's where the whole thing comes from. That's where we will be placing our focus. You understand? So in this end value analysis, we have parameters like cost performance index, we have schedule performance index, we have planned value, we have actual percent complete, we have planned percent complete. All of these things are what we are going to be discussing when we're looking at the end value management analysis. And of course, we have cost benefit analysis, which is what all of us are quite familiar with. So any other analysis you don't see out of all of this analysis is what we refer to as the alternative analysis. Are we together? Bottom line, when you monitor your project, you analyze. You keep analyzing data to tell you where you are. I think that's what we do in our data analysis class. You just keep analyzing data. I think I usually see it this person's age is this, and this one, his salary is this, and all of that. I don't know anything about data analysis anyway. But I know it's data you keep analyzing. You understand? So in monitoring and controlling of your projects, only you cannot do that. You also need to involve your team. Hey guys, we need to know how things are going on our projects. So that can be done in meetings. When you meet, you begin to review. Or maybe in your organization, meeting happens just Mondays, or maybe Fridays, where you got to review all the things you have done for the week and ways you can improve. So one way you can do that is in meeting. And when you have done those meetings and you have been able to see some of these changes, you need to make an adjustment to the next thing you need to do is for you to make decision. Decision making is one of those interpersonal skills you need as a project manager when you are running project. So when you monitor and control your project work, the basic things you have is reports as work is ongoing. You understand? So at some point, you may also need to make some change requests because you have discovered that one or two things will not work in your project. Then the next thing you need to do is for you to talk to the sponsor. That's change request. And of course, once he approves some of those changes, you need to go back to the project management plan and of course the project document plan for you to update them. Imagine that you were given 10 million for you to carry out a certain project. And like we said, projects progressively elaborate, not so. And cost is one of those implications that happens that makes our project to elaborate. And the sponsor, you went back to the sponsor and said, see, we have encountered a certain issue on as we're executing our project. We need additional 2 million, 3 million, or 4 million for us to be able to achieve what we still need to achieve. And he approves it. In your original plan, 10 million is there. Am I correct? But with the new approval now, that makes it 50 million. So you need to go back and update some of this. Are we together? Are we together? Or is sleep o'clock? Is it sleep o'clock? You have sat in the reception for so long, so the body is tired. Okay, maybe we'll do some exercise. Yes, it's trying to. I've monitored now. I want to control. Yes. So once you make change requests, whether it is approved or disapproved, you need to update it in the relevant document that is important. Now, perform integrated change control. You remember I said the first one when I was describing all the things we are going to be, the parameters we are going to be using to control our project. I said project work and of course, perform integrated change control. This perform integrated change control is very simple. I'm sure those of us online are following. Very, very easy. See, put it this way. Let's still refer back to what the project is. Progressively elaborated. Now, in your project, you made a change request to the sponsor. Your project is actually to design this bottled water. Specification. Let it have blue cover. Let the bottle be transparent. Let it have this label. Then you went to the market. When you go to the market, price of things have changed. Price of materials have changed. And ideally, you can always make change requests. You can always refer back to the sponsor. And truly, you went back to the sponsor and say, okay, this is our project. This design we want to do. You know, go work. Money for this one don't go up. Money for this one don't go up. I know. And the project sponsor told you that, look, she like this, I don't get. I don't have any other additional money to add to this project. And you say, okay, well, if you're not adding any money, with the money we have, we can achieve black cover. Then maybe part of the body also will be black. The label will be black. You understand? And some of us will now begin to read meaning into a black bottled water. When you want to buy water, then you give one black thing. You begin to read meaning to it. Am I correct? So if you see the one that you are used to and the black one, you probably want to go for the blue one. Am I correct? So look at it. The sponsor did not approve your change for additional costs. But he did approve a change in specification. That's what it means for you to perform integrated change control. Then it does not end there. You need to go back and update relevant documents stating the implication of that change in specification. Because you and I have already agreed that you're beginning to read meaning into this. So there may be that maybe your suppliers may begin to reject your product. You must state it so that nobody else come from nowhere and say, oh, this kind of project manager is a failure. So that needs to be included. So it's very, very important. I tell you, we had a construction project in Life Camp somewhere back in 2018. And the plot that was given for us to develop, we had to develop a shopping complex. And the plot that was given to us is actually soil loose. It's a waterlogged area. And so what we needed to do was to use foundation that would be fitting. I think we used raft and mat foundation in that place. Now, the depth of that excavation is supposed to be 1.2 meters, but because as a new construction company who is also trying to make a name for itself, we decided, we invited another engineer to look at it, and we decided to, instead of 1.2 meter depth, we decided to go 1.6 or 1.8 or so. Now, the original amount for that foundation alone, I think was 3 million. Things were relatively okay then, 2018. But we spent, I think we ended up spending more. We spent originally, I think it was 2.something million, but we spent 3.something million. Then there was an additional cost that we incurred. We went back to the sponsor and said, how far this thing will do? He passed the amount. We're in that guy's office for over 2 hours. The guy said, Laila, you know they had any money. Laila, no had any money. Even the what's the name now? The QS knew that we spent so much more in that foundation. Laila. What's the point? The point is, before you make changes, you must get an approval from a what? From the sponsor. And I'm going to be taking you through the steps that you need in order for you to perform integrated change control. Step 1, you need to observe the change first. You need to do what? Observe the change first. When you observe the change, that does not indicate that it's only you that will be observing the change. The project manager could observe the change. Your team members could observe the change. The change may be coming from the sponsor, may be coming from stakeholders. So the first thing you need to do is what? Observe the change. The second thing you must do is you must officially request for the change to be made. That's written document. Yes, so iPhone, I don't know if this is, okay, I don't think this is Amira. I think this is iPhone. Yes. I can see you are married. Thank you. So, you officially request for the change to be made. What do you need to do? You simply write a memo to the sponsor, describing the change you want to make in that project and seeking his approval. And of course, you go ahead and make that change. Then step 3 is that most times when it involves money, the sponsor will pretend as if he does not understand what you are saying. So you need to go and see him face to face, eyeball to eyeball, then you explain. Additional 3 million for what? Is it for, it's not me that said it, you're on your own. So such meeting happens, such discussion happens during meeting, you understand? So you can tag number 3 as meeting. So in some big organizations, there are people we call steering committee, STEERING, steering committee. These guys represent the sponsor. For example, we want to build a railway connecting Nigeria to Ghana. Such project is for who? Who owns that project? Who is the sponsor? The government. Maybe Mr. President. But Mr. President will not always be available. You know, he has a very sweet flight from Abuja to France. So he's always on that route. He's not always available for you. So he will now form a steering committee, 6-7 persons. Then you go to that steering committee. When they now ask you, hey, you say you need additional 5 million, justify it, defend it, make a case. Then you go ahead, you say, hey, I need this because of this, I need, you understand. And at the end of the day, they'll either approve or disapprove. So such meeting is what we call change control board meeting, when that happens during the steering committee. So that change control board meeting is where you make a case, it's where you make your request, it's where you justify the change that needs to be made. Then number 4, approval is not verbal. Approval is written. I cannot just tell you, what's your name, man? Yes, what's your name? Joy. Can I just tell Joy, can you please go to the moon? Go and build like 2-bedroom flat there. And true, Joy go meet Elon Musk, so you fly me to the moon. And she goes there, she build 2-bedroom flat, and she now come back from moon and say, I don't build them. How? Is there any document to prove that I told you to go there and build it? So approval is not verbal, it should be documented. Otherwise, all cost implication is on you. It's just like the situation I just described not long ago. Then step 5, why not? If it has been approved, you go ahead and do your implementation. You implement. So these are just the process you need to follow when you are making changes in your project. You missed number 5? Any confusion? Are we good? Okay, no. Those are bonus information I'm giving you. It's not there. Those are bonus information. It's just process. I think changes are things that you must have come across, even from your planning process. Mr. Amadi must have mentioned it. But these are just due process you follow. You understand? It's not there, but you can just jot it down. And that's why I decided to slow. So what else do we control? We control scope. What does that mean? Put your eyes on ground. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know the confusion. Don't worry. Remember, we have executed our project. We are trying to go back to monitor and control it. So you have had all the things you need from initiation down to execution. You have had all the things you need. We just want to put things in place now. Are we together? Okay. We just want to put things in place. Tell me, what's the confusion? You know you are my stakeholder. I need to read your face. I need to be sure that we are on the same flight. What's the confusion? Speak to me. This is how you ask your stakeholder, what is the problem? Tell me. Tell me. Be open. It's a discussion class. Yes. Am I too fast? Okay, when you make a change request and it's not approved, perform integrated change control. You remember? Yes. You must give an implication of disapproval of that change. Because nobody will come back and say you are a project manager that doesn't know anything. That was perform integrated change control. You did not approve the one you're asking for, but you approve something else. You must go back and indicate. Okay. Okay. So when you need to make decisions, it's not just only the sponsor that is in that project. There are board of directors, there are stakeholders that may come together and make decisions on behalf of the sponsor. I think more like the steering committee. See, in as long as it's not available, there's somebody in charge that will make decisions. Situation where a man is involved in a project and he dies along the line, his wife continues. You understand? So things like that. So there will be always be somebody that the sponsor trusts. You understand? Yes. Trust issues. Okay. So if the sponsor has trust issues, actually, it should be the sponsor, it should be the project manager, it should be the team that executes it. Yes, it should be everything. And we kind of had such kind of managers that don't believe that, just believe that everybody is selfish. They are here for their money. If you know with their money, there is no motivation, nothing where you want to tell them. They will not. And there are some managers that believe that these are my team members, I trust them. They are passionate about this work. They will deliver. I think during execution is where you should have discussed about it. The Y and the X manager. Yes. I don't know if you discussed that, but during execution. So your recording for your own particular session, together with previous sections, if you have time, go through them. Go through them. More of experiences, more of details, because as time progresses, we are trying to reduce a whole lot of information we send out. Because we also do internal review to see. Most learning, I tell you, after you write this thing, when you write for this book, finish. As you reach out, you don't close it, you don't look at. Somebody already they indicate, say, I'm #1 champion when it comes to this. I don't look it. No. So it is quite important that's why we made those recordings available. If you pay attention, for some of us who have gone back to review those recordings, the recording the one we shared with you was not the one that happened in your class. Go back and review it. But you may probably not know, simply because it's the same information, but that's even more elaborated. You understand? And when I share a recording with you, maybe today or tomorrow, because today's class, once we are done, you have an assignment, you have a take home. But of course, there's a guide that will help you throughout that assignment. You understand? So you will find out that step by step how those things are explained. You understand? So control scope. Control what? Scope. We know what scope is. Do we know what scope is? Scope is the work we will go do for this project, our work. The work we are going to be doing in this project. Now, your team members, do they know the scope? Because some of them may be deviating from the work you're supposed to do and be doing something else, which is not part of the scope. So, where does control come in? That thing where you do not be part of our work. It's not your work. This is our work. So as a project manager, your eyes is on ground to be sure. Because if you don't control scope, the work, it will tell on your budget. Am I correct? It will tell on your timing. Because you are doing work that is not part of your work. So when you're supposed to deliver, you will not deliver. Are we together? What else do we control? We control schedule. So there's something we are going to be doing. We are going to be controlling schedule and control costs together. Control schedule and control costs. We know what cost is. We know what schedule is. We'll control both of them. Control them. Let me just show you how, because this is the parameters we are going to be using in carrying this out. So we take two case scenario here. You take one home. And that's one case scenario you are taking home is the only guarantee for you to write PMP assessment. Yes, so it means you must do it. Yes. Yes. So it involves calculation like I made mention before, and I'm going to make it very, very easy. If you don't like mathematics, indicate. As you know, raise up your hand and you go help us with this class. I also don't like mathematics, and I will tell you, I studied architecture, and I will tell you this for free. Architecture takes the whole time and leaves other courses. So it is when we have tests, when the lecturer of another course tells us that we have tests. He will tell us maybe today afternoon. We'll not even carry the manual with the handout. We'll not carry it. He has told us since morning. Nobody has come to carry it. You see, around 8 in the evening, at that time, we'll come to open the rush. So for me, I already know myself. You know, there is a state where you will be, you already know what works for you. So my first test, I scored 2/20. Yes, 2/20. Second test is same, 4/40. Yes, that's a path to failure. Am I correct? Yes. But what happened? You see, expert judgment is what we have been doing, like I made mention before when we started our class. Expert judgment is what we have been using. Most of all these things we are discussing is what we have been using. I just went to my seniors. It was my year 1. And the truth is, once you don't meet a certain GP, you are going home. There's no two way about it. I saved my money for 3 years to go to school. So I was not willing to take that risk. Like I said, all of us have different background stories. And I went to him, he said, just carry your first test question, carry your second test question, practice analytic will come out for exam. I don't know if that happened in your school, but it did happen in mine. And I went, carry first test, carry second test. The guy, I think we chatted, my friend, his name is Adeyemi. We used to call him Calculus. That's his nickname. I think he left Nigeria last month. He's in the UK now. We just solve question. Test number 1, he solved the question in the sheet of paper. Test number 2, he solved it. Then I'll go home, I'll carry it. That's when exam is approaching. I'll carry it. No, it's not cram. The truth is, I will tell you. You see, like I said, I know what works for me. Cramming doesn't work for me. Understanding it works for me, but not to an advanced level. You see that one where I go to write that exam at the understander. You know they had me. Because something has to be on the book. So he solves test 1 and test 2. I will practice, so I will even begin to teach other people. That's how it works for me. And I will go to the exam, and I will write it, and I will come out with my honorable C. No dragging. Don't follow anybody, they drag anything. If you know mathematics, carry and they go where they go. But for me, I just want to get my result. Come on. Are we together? That's year 1, first semester. Second semester, same strategy, same techniques work. When we got to year 2, those lecturers, God will help them where they are now. They begin to change some of these test questions. How? So I also need to adjust my strategy as well. Yes. Past questions, test questions, everything. Combine them. Now, this is it. You see me? I don't go to the exam hall and I'll be panicking. I don't go to the exam hall and I think that the alternative route for me to escape is to copy. I just believe that I need to go to the exam hall and know that I need to pen something down, no matter where it's coming from. So I'll practice my test 1 and test 2. And I will check the question paper. If another lecturer will take them last time, whether I said that question, I'll check. If it, when I get to the exam hall, if you like, change the question. You see that thing where I don't practice now, go right. And I tell you, I did not fail. Yes, because see, the truth is, we should be human. If I give you an empty booklet, or I write something, for you, which one will you? Maybe you said your conscience will do you. This boy, hey, he be no answer, but anyway, I just give and see, and I'll carry my see and go. And I did that, and it worked for me. And sometimes, because I have this kind of network that everybody is looking after me, because they know that this guy and mass, they don't go one way. So when we are going for exam, they always want to position me where I will have data on my sheets. You understand? So in a case where you now meet some invigilators that God will help them where they are now, they will begin to do you information like this. You go like this, they scatter all the information. What happens? The truth is, when they try to look out for me, and this one, test question, no come on to how Solo want to do today. When they look back, they say, in the right. Yes. So those are strategies I put in place, not until the final semester. Something happened. It was about to be terrible. But I don't know what happened, but then I just give glory to God. Yes. So what we do is final semester, you don't take MTH, mathematics. I think a semester before you graduate, that's semi-semester or something, you call it. So after that, mathematics, we'll have one more semester to go, but that next semester, we don't have mathematics. So it means if you fail that one, you are coming back 1 full year. So went into the exam hall, normal practice. Now, this guy is a doctor that taught us numerical series. The guy is a doctor. So you got some techniques so you know work for doctor. That thing, why don't they do? You also need to be strategic. You also need to know who you are giving some data to. When we go to the exam hall, position, fine. I practice normal. But this guy, when I saw question number 1A, say something we practice now. It's just that this guy, this time around, has changed some figures. And once you have changed figures, you don't scatter plan. There are plans I'm used to. You have scattered the plan. So what happened? He has changed some figure. I said, no, let me attempt it now. What is it? Final year student. I don't know survive maths. They come all the way from 100 level. Now here you come. I was attempting that question for 30 minutes. The exam was for 3 hours. And you must tell yourself the truth. When you are moving in the wrong direction, mathematics is as you are solving it, when you fail, you know. I look left. Please don't write. I look right. No, don't write. Don't even the answer number 2. And the person sitting close to me is a lady, my friend, but I also have small pride. It's not as if she doesn't want to allow me to copy, but I wasn't really comfortable to copy. I just called the invigilator and said, okay, come. This is my final year. This is my final mathematics. You see this question? For the past 30 minutes, I've been attempting it. Just question number 1. Right now, my brain cannot write anything again, and I cannot afford to fail. You see that boy we did here? His name is Izuchukwu. He knows the maths. Bring it for him. I want to copy. The guy burst into laughter. Say, what? He walk up. He go, he laugh, go, he come back. Go tap me for back. Say, this guy don't fall my hand. This is part of failure. Anything will happen, make it happen. And he came back. He said, who is the guy? I say, Izu. Say, Izu, get up. You go there. That's how Izu come. Another thing is, for you, if you don't know maths, still call me and say you don't know how to copy. Yes, it's another strategy. Because when Izu came, Izu was already attempting question number 3. So, because Izu Alpha, when you reach, you say number 3. How many pages you use for number 1 and 2? A counter for me. As a counter, so I count and follow him. As a start 3, I start 3. Honorable C, I came out, I did not fail. And I will tell you, something happened before then. When we were in that hall, one invigilator came. I don't know why. Anyway, the guy came and split the whole class. Say no, final year students cannot be this full in one hall. Some people should go to the other side. You see those people who go there? 70% of them came back. They all went. But in my hall, immediately I did that single act alone. That demand swap is due for me. Then every other person began to beg that I need to be swapped. I need to go to where I will copy. In that hall, nobody failed. When we came out of that exam, if you see the way everybody was coming to me, thank you, you are God sent, do this. I said, me, we don't do the mass. Why am I sharing this story? The reason why I'm sharing is because, see, we know our capability, we know our capacity. What we are trying to do here today is not to make you feel that you don't know anything. And I will tell you, all of us will solve it together. And you will find out that it is even something that is simple, is something that you can do on your own. And that is why you are going to be having your own take home so that you can review the material. So we have provided everything available. Mr. Madi used to say, there's one lecturer in Unilag. When he sets his questions, at the back of the question, he writes all the formula you need to solve the question. Yes, a good lecturer, right? Yes. He knows, see, the truth is, even if you write all the formula, if you don't know, you don't know. So why don't make life easy? I want cram formula, I want to see cram process. No. Let's begin. So like I said, we are going to be controlling schedule and control cost together. So this is control cost. So this is end value management analysis. You said? What happened? It's not clear enough. It look like what? What have we been discussing? Before we begin, please tell me. What's BSc? What's BSc? What's BSc? Those of us online, please use the chat box. What's BSc? Budget at completion. What does that mean? It means say at the end of this project, how much we don't spend, the total amount. Understood? Is it hard? Welcome. What's your name? Susan. You're welcome. I hope you can see from your angle. All right. Budget at completion means the total amount of money we will spend by the time the project comes to an end. It's simple, Abby. Still they do partial. Okay, so let's have an open mind. It's way easier. Then what do we have next? Plan value. Yes. What does it mean? It means the value you plan, the amount of work you anticipate to have finished in spending a certain amount of money. Now, have this in mind. When you hear value, When you hear value, is money. You can put that down somewhere in your note. When you hear value, it is money. Plan value. So we plan that for us to have finished this project, we'll have spent this amount. Planned money. By the time I go to Transcorp Hilton and come, I will have spent like 150, plan. Just like when you are going out, you have a budget for what you want to spend. So you plan it. Plan value. Are we together? Any confusion? Speak now. Is plan. Now, have this in mind. Plan is a projection. Plan is what? A projection. It's just a plan. Hey, I planned that at the age of 25, I should get married. Yes, that was the plan. 25, rich, babe, I don't get. 28, no babe. Eventually, by 31, I can't see one girl where they do like say one stay. Then by 33, I now got married. What was the plan? So let's just keep it there. That's a plan. That's a projection. Remember, your plan will not always go as you plan it. Is it understood? Yes, sir. When you go to the market or you send somebody to the market, let me buy meat. You go market, okay, Susan, let me buy some chicken now. Let me buy some this thing. See, now just buy 20,000 naira for me. And when Susan is coming, you sight Susan from farm. The bag which she carry now, so she breathes just a plan like this. See how Susan buy the meat. From where you did, you sure say she buy her. When you eventually see now the meat, Susan, yeah, now 20,000 naira meat with this. Why is the person asking? Is because there is a planned value you are expecting, a quantity of a certain amount of things you have to buy, he's expecting. And it's not common, it's not measurable to the expectation. Are we getting it? I'm using these different analogies so that it can sink in. So plan will always go as you thought. Yes. So when you go to the market these days, please just manage anything you see. Yes. Then end value. That's the next one, right? Yes. End value is opposite of plan value. End value is opposite of plan value. Don't be confused. Don't think about plan value. Just stay with me. End value. End. If I ask you how much you earn at the end of the month, you tell me 1 million naira. That's what you earn, right? Yes. No, leave that in first. Yes, end value is 1 million. I don't know after I think it. Yes. What am I saying? What's the point? Now, N is the actual thing you earn. You see that meat where Susan buy come, and the actual value of that week. That's the N. You're working in an organization and they tell you if you bring, if you can have 10 clients in a month, we'll pay you 100K. 10 clients in a month, we'll pay you 100K. That's what, that's projection, that's plan. Yeah, that's plan, right? That's a plan now. Yes. Manage 10 people in this 1 month, will pay you 100K. That's the plan. So you came back, you managed 12 people. And they paid you 120,000. What was the plan? What was the end? Do you see why it's opposite of it? Are we good now? Yes. Okay. So end, what you earn at the end of the day, what do you really get? Okay, the example when I make. Okay. So what example did I even make? Okay, yes. So now, it's normal calculation. You are bringing 10 persons, and we are saying we are paying you 100,000, right? Yes. You are bringing 10 persons, we are saying we are paying you 100,000. Simply put, it means 10,000 per person. It's a simple mathematics. So at the end of the day, you now brought, or you managed 12 people. So that's additional 20,000. Now, I'm putting it in a positive note so that we don't dwell on negative. Otherwise, I would have said at the end of the day, you only manage 7 persons. How much will you earn? 70,000. That's your earn. That's the main thing you achieve. That's your earn value. Remember, I said value is what? Money. What do we have there? Earn value. The amount you earn. Any confusion? Is it clear? Yeah. So now let's go to the next one. Actual costs. Actual cost. What is actual cost? How much you don't spend for this project so far? It means the amount of money that have gone into the project before now. That particular time when they ask you, what's your name? Yes. Betty. Betty, how much would I don't spend for this project so far? 30 million. Now, pay attention. Do not confuse budget at completion for actual cost. Do you understand? Don't confuse budget at completion for actual cost. Actual is asking you now, how much you don't spend from that time till now. Project never finished. How much you don't spend now? Till now. Budget at completion is saying what? Everything. You know, so now you get the project. You understand? So, then the next one we have there is SPI, Schedule Performance Index. This one don't really need any much explanation. Schedule Performance Index. Somebody's mic is coming up. Who is that? Zainab. Zainab, have you forgotten that you're in class? So SPI and SV, I'm combining them together. SPI and SV, they help us to know, there are parameters that help us to know how we are doing in terms of schedule. So there are 3 possibilities when it comes to schedule. You can either be ahead of schedule, you can be on schedule, and you can be behind schedule. Those are the 3 possibilities. You are ahead of schedule, you are on schedule, or you are behind schedule. Those 2 parameters helps us to know where we are in our project in terms of schedule. Ahead of schedule means we plan 3 days to do a certain activity, but we use 2 days. That's you being ahead of schedule. We plan 3 days to carry out a certain activity, but now 2 days we use. We tell Susan, say, Susan, how far now? He enter Lagos, come back. And 3 days should be enough now. I don't know how Susan did it. She was in Lagos around 8 a.m. this morning. She's flying back this evening. So instead of 3 days, she has used 1 day or 2 days. So we gave you, so that's a plus, right? Behind schedule means activity where you're supposed to use 3 days, do 40 days, 50 days, see the struggle. That's behind schedule. Then on schedule, we'll give you 3 days, use 3 days. That's on schedule. Is it clear? Those of us on Zoom, just to confirm. Okay. Are we good? Please just use the chat box, just say G to G, so that I'll be sure that we are all moving in the same direction. G to G, good to go? Are we good to go? Yes. All right. Aisha, yes.
You said that the schedule performance index is a measure of whether we are behind schedule, on schedule, or ahead of schedule. Now, I'm seeing from the formula, we said M value over plan value. I was thinking that those are the factors that affect the time of the schedule.
You see, one thing I need you to understand now is that, you see, all of us here, we don't know maths. So we need to take it bit by bit. This thing when you talk now, don't cause confusion. So leave them. By the time we begin to impute them, we go to see them. The first thing we need to do is let us get all these small parameters. Let's understand them. Once we now understand them, we cannot begin to do. And it's an advanced calculus you want to start doing now.
Sir, please don't let any question be asked because they're not very loud. Can you tell us the question they asked before answering the question? I said, can you tell us any question they asked before answering the question because they are not very loud?
Oh, I'm not audible? Oh, so sorry.
Damn, the people asking questions. The people asking questions
Okay,
are
okay,
not
okay.
loud.
The people asking questions. Okay, the reason is because, you know, I'm with a device they are not. You understand? So,
okay, so
the question it was asking,
you can repeat
I can just re-echo. For anyone that asks questions, please just give me a signal for me to re-echo your question so that those can actually understand. So what he was asking is that schedule performance index and schedule variance is what helps us to know how we are doing in terms of our duration of our project, which simply means we can be ahead of schedule, we can be on schedule, or we can be behind schedule. Now, he's now asking, how come the formula is SPI, which is schedule performance index, equals to N value minus over plan value? That was the question he was asking. So I now told him, no, let him just relax first. Let's take it bit by bit. I think that was the question he asked. Am I correct? Yes. So for any one question that anybody asks, I'm going to re-echo it just because the device is close to them. So sorry about that. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So the next one is CPI and what? As we are going to be doing CPI and CV together. Don't worry for TCPI. Just leave that one first. Now, cost performance index and cost variance. This helps us to know how we are doing in terms of our spending. Costs, you are seeing it there. It helps us to know how we are doing in terms of our what? Spending. The akwala, how we take the spender. You understand? It helps you to know how you are doing with your expenditure. You can be below budget, which means you are running that project below the amount that it was budgeted for. Originally, we planned to spend maybe $20,000, but at the end of the day, you spend just $15,000 or $18,000. That's below budget. You understand? Height of budget is we gave you $20,000. You don't spend $32,000. You are ahead of budget. Now, is there anything we don't understand on this table? Speak. No, let me manage, please. Is there anything we don't understand? Those of us online, please. Look at this table very well. Just confirm to me by G to G if we are good to go. Are we good to go? Speak. Where's the confusion? Don't be afraid of any number. Let's take case one. Case one. Yes. You are managing a project to analyze 200 new tomato paste products in Nigeria. And you need to figure out your budget. Each of the projects costs the same. Your team members are paid a total of 400,000 naira every week. And you need 100,000 naira worth of material each week to do the work. If the project is scheduled to last 16 weeks, what's the BAC for the project? What's the plan percent complete be 4 weeks into the project? What should the plan value be 4 weeks into the project? You have checked with your team, but they have bad news. The schedule says they were supposed to have analyzed 50 new tomato paste by now, but they only analyzed 40. Can you figure out the actual percent complete? What should the end value be right now? Okay, let's begin. There's something you need to have in mind. You may begin to see something that is not on that table, but for everything you want to do, always refer back to that table, the end value management analysis table. That's your guide. Don't assume, say, go back and check, because I'm going to be asking you. Now, when you see a question, there are two ways to approach it in this end value management analysis. What did I call it? End value management analysis. It means that you are to analyze. It means what? That you are to analyze. For example, the first question is asking us, what's the budget at completion? Am I correct? Now, go back to your table. Is there a formula for budget at completion? No. There's no formula. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? I just said it now. What do we need to do? To analyze. So for every one thing you did not see, go and analyze it. You get it. So can we analyze now?
Yes, sir.
Can we analyze? So we're trying to figure out what budget at completion is. Am I correct? Those of us online, are we good to go? Are we good to go? Can we carry out our analysis? Just use the G2G. G2G, good to go. Yes. Makinde say yes. Yes, Aisha say yes. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So I've gotten more G2G. All right. So we want to analyze. What are we looking for? Budget at completion. We want to know the total amount of money we will have spent at the end of this project. Am I correct?
Yes.
So how much do we spend every week on team members? 400,000. That's the amount to spend on team members every week. Every week, how much do we spend on material? 100,000 every week. So is it safe to say that we spend 500,000 naira every week?
Yes.
Are we together? Those of us online, is it safe to say that we spend 500,000 naira every week? Yes, please use the chat box, just confirm. Yes, yes, all right. So now, if we spend 500,000 naira every week, what's the duration of our project? So at the end of 16 weeks, I will spend 500,000 naira each week. What will be our budget at completion? Are we together? So that's, how do we do that calculation now? Okay, so we have 400,000 team plus 100,000 material multiplied by duration, 16 weeks. 8 million BAC. Any confusion? Crystal clear, abi? You like this type of mass? No headache. You like this type? Okay. All right. Shall we make progress?
Please, can you do it again?
Yes. Somebody is saying something. Okay, your network is not good. Kindly just use the chat box. Just use the chat box. The chat box is open. 8 million, 8 million, 8 million, 8 million. Yes. When I get money. 1, 2, 3. How many 8 millions are here? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Thank you very much, Olamide Kazim. Thank you very much, Zainab. Thank you very much, Aisha. 8 million. Yes. What's the next question? What will the planned percent complete be 4 weeks into the project? The first thing you want to do, is there a formula for planned percent complete? Check your table. Please use the chat box. I can barely hear what you are saying. Use the chat box. You know you're not supposed to unmute your mic unless you are asked to do so. So please use the chat box if there's any confusion. I am reading the chat box. Is there a formula for planned percent complete? Once there is no formula, what do we do? All right. Planned percent complete. B, 4 weeks into the project. It's looking more like small confusion, I mean. But pay attention to this. The first thing you want to look at is, what is the question asking? We had planned value, which you say it was money. Now we're having planned percent. It means our answer will be in percentage. So once you hear percentage, the first thing that comes to your head is 100%. Am I correct? Yes. 100% comes to mind. Now they are asking, they are saying, what will the percentage be 4 weeks into the project? So now put it this way. Will I be right if I say our 16 weeks is 100%? Will I be right? Yes. Will I be correct? Yes. Now, this is how I do my math. Analysis works better for me than formula. I am seeing 16 weeks. They're asking me for 4 weeks, the percentage into it. I just took that 16 weeks. I rate it in 100%. Am I correct? Yes, I divided that 16 weeks into 2. I have 8 weeks. 8 weeks is how many percent? 50. The other 8 weeks, 50. I decided to keep one of the 8 weeks, which is 50%, and I brought another 8 weeks, and I slashed it into 2. How many weeks? 4 weeks. What's the percentage? 5. What are they asking for? Do we have our answer? Yes. I don't want all those. Those of us on Zoom, please repeat the calculation. Now, the point is, where do I begin from? If it's about BAC patients, if you're talking about the BAC, we analyze. There is no formula for it. We just analyze. It's simple. How much would they spend for material every week? They tell us in every week. How much we spend for material every week? We say 100K. Our people, where they come work for us, how much would they pay them? Daily pay. Say, everybody, when we gather everybody, when we pay them, 400K. So that means for 1 week, okay, for 1 week, we have spent 500,000. They can't tell us, okay, the project is going to last for 16 weeks. So the calculation is very simple. 16 weeks multiplied by the amount we spend weekly, which is 500,000, will give us 8 million. Okay, come again with planned percent. All right. So planned percent . So the amount of work you anticipated to have completed over a period of time, you rate it in percentage. It is a projection. In 4 weeks time, we're supposed to finish 30%. Well, in 5 weeks, we're supposed to finish also percent. So it is the same as planned value, just that this time around, it is not money, it is in percentage. Because if you look at it, it's the same as planned value. But this is rated in percentage, not in money. Yes, let me see if there are other comments. Okay, I think I've explained the two. Yes, come again for the plan value. Plan percent complete. Plan percent complete. Just like the way we explained plan value. What do you plan for? The amount of money you plan to have finished in carrying out a certain activity, how much are you supposed to have spent in doing this? We're now asking, how many percentage are you supposed to have completed in so duration? So we just analyze it. And we said we have 16 weeks. And they're asking us the percentage we will have done in 4 weeks. And we said we are rating the 16 weeks in 100%. And by my calculation, I think there's a formula for it. The formula will be that 4 divided by 16 multiplied by 100%. Am I correct? Yes, I think that's it. So 4 weeks over the total number of weeks that we are going to carry out the work, multiplied by 100% will give us 25%. That's the formula. So we have 25%. Are we okay? Are we good?
Yes.
Any confusion? So far we are good. G to G? Okay, want to digest now. Want to take your time and let it think. You're trying to put it together. Okay. Yes. Okay, so you see that one I did. That's somebody that doesn't know mathematics at all. But what I'm telling you now is, you see that particular 4 weeks they are requesting for. Put that 4 over the total number of weeks. When you divide it, 4 divided by 16, what do you have? 0.7. Then you multiply it by 100%. Remember, we're looking, we want to rate it in percentage. Then when you multiply it to give you 25%. But in my own way, yes, in 16 weeks, and the math is simple. 8 weeks is divisible by 4. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. I decided to rate 16 weeks in 100%. And I divide it by 4. So 100 divided by 4 will give me 25. But this is what I did. This is how I explained it anyway. 16 weeks, they say I should look for 4 weeks. I can't, I just divided the 16 weeks into 2, and I have 8 weeks with 50%, another 8 weeks with 50%. Then I pick one of the 8 weeks with 50%, I slash it into 2 again. And I have how many weeks? 4 weeks and 25% attached to it. So if you are to even put it in a region of scale, you see 25%, 4 weeks, 25%, 4 weeks, 25%, 4 weeks, like that, like that. Then if you add everything together, it will give you 100%, 16 weeks. Okay, I think those of the yes, those of them online, they are mathematics, they are there's a mass. The next question. We are digesting this small back. The next question. What should the plan value be 4 weeks into the project? Plan value. What is value? Money. Now, go back and check. Is there a formula for plan value?
Yes.
So what's the formula?
Yes.
BSC times plan percent complete. So what's our BSC? 8 million. Times, what's our plan percent complete? 25%. When you do that calculation, what do you have? If you did not get 2 million, let me know. If you did not get 2 million, let me know. Yes, let me check the chat box. Yes, 2 million. Zainab, mathematician. Well done, well done, well done. Aisha too. Yes. Aisha Hamira. Mukaila, well done. Daniel, Aruma, well done. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. These people online. Let me bring somebody here to come and teach us this math. Okay. Mr. Haruna Daniels. 2 million, yes, that's correct. Peace Evans. Well done. She expressed it. She expressed it. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. Naomi, thank you. Yes. Peace Evans, she's actually in an advanced level. Yes. Thank you very much for that expression. Very correct. Very correct. Yes. Joy, you did not get 2 million. You did not get what? Don't worry, just no. See, the one where you don't know, reach back. No carry on now, I think confusion. So anyway, where confusion, they just ask me. So where is the confusion? The plan value, 4 weeks into the project. That's where the confusion is. Okay. So see, another way to quickly do it, Another way to quickly do it. One house. Let's have one house. Now, another way to quickly do this thing. You see, question number 2 and question number 3 are actually complementing each other. The only thing is just for you to change the sign. Plan percent complete 4 weeks into the project. They are telling us that it is 25%. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
They are not coming back to ask you, what would the plan value be 4 weeks into the project? All you need to do is to substitute the 16 weeks you use to the 8 million. And when you do it, you get your 2 million. So what's 25% of 8 million? What's 25% of 8 million? What did you get before? You understand? That is too much. See, 8 million we get. See, that's the money we will get with that. 8 million. Because they ask us, say this 8 million now. We'll divide them 4 of us. 4 groups. Each of those groups get 4 people. Or might just say, so those 4 groups, they can't give us, you take. And the amount of money we'll get that, come as half a room. Or they say 16 people, you people will share 8 million. Abi, each person will get how much? No, the money don't pass. We have 16 people. 16 people share 8 million. I think we all will get 500K. Abi?
Yes.
Because say 4 of now. How much be that money? 4 of now. 4. How much is your money in total? Which other way are we using again? John, yes. You're good now. Yes. Now, what we're about to do is where the problem starts from. Yes. You have checked with your team, Susan. But they have bad news. The schedule says they were supposed to have analyzed 50 new tomato paste by now, but they have only analyzed 40. Can you figure out the actual percent complete? What should the end value be right now? That's where confusion came in. Now, what do we need to do first? Yes. So, what are they asking for? They're asking for actual percent complete. Is there a formula for actual percent complete? No. So what do we need to do? Analyze. Remember what I mentioned about actual the last time? Remember actual costs? Remember end value? Because they are asking for end value here. They are asking for actual percent complete, not cost now. No cost is the money, actual percent complete. So anything we are giving, what we have done here, this 40 we don't analyze, what will be the percentage? That's what they're asking. This 40 we did, what's the percentage? Now, if we have done 50, what was the percentage? If we have done 50, what was the percentage? Now we return back to this space. How many tomato paste are we going to analyze? 200. Now, if you are to rate this in percentage and take this away, what's the percentage of this to this? 25. Yes. You are correct, 25. So that means if we are carrying out this 50, if we have analyzed this 50, which is equivalent to equivalent to 4 weeks, because when we spend 4 weeks, we'll have analyzed this. If we spend 4 weeks, now 50 will analyze it. We spend another 4 weeks, we'll analyze 50, that's 100. We spend another 4 weeks, we'll analyze another 50, that's 150. We spend another 4 weeks, that's 15 weeks, everything complete. So now 50 we will not analyze for 4 weeks. So that they are saying that this 50, instead of you analyzing this 50 at the end of 4 weeks, how many did you analyze? So that, no, don't tell us that. I don't know where you are getting that one. We must find how we got it. I know say you know maths, just leave us we don't know. So we must find out how you got it. So what's the actual percent complete? Now let's look at it. There's no formula for actual percent complete. Am I correct? Yes. So the first thing I want to do is for us to actually analyze it and see. I think I've actually done that analysis. What we want to do is, remember, when we're trying to figure out the percentage 4 weeks into our project, we did 4/16 multiplied by 100%. They're asking us for actual percent complete. Am I correct? Yeah. So the actual percent complete is now going to be 40 divided by 200 multiplied by 100%. Am I correct? Is that the formula?
Yes.
Is that the formula? Those of us online, let me see the chat box. More the people who are there here, no be here. When I sabi maths like this, I go. Yes, actually, yes. Okay. Okay, I think they are responding to the question. So right now, can you figure out the actual percent complete? Yes. I don't understand actual percents are 20%. All right. Okay, Zainab. Actual percent complete. We have said if there is no formula, we need to analyze. So remember that your planned percent complete 4 weeks into the project was 25%. Yes, that is, if you have completed your project in 4 weeks, the part you're supposed to complete, it should be 25%. And that 25% translate that you will have analyzed 50 tomato paste. So now you are analyzing to find out the percentage of work that is done. Where is 40 coming from? 40 is coming from the question. The question is there. The question is saying that we only analyze 40 tomato paste. That's where the question is coming from. That's where 40 is coming from. So if I were to ask that question, let's go together. How many new tomato paste have been analyzed? How many was analyzed? 40, yes. What was the projection by now? What was the projection? 50, very correct. Yes. So what's the percentage of work done? 20%. Yes, 20%, not 25. 20%. Wow. Evans Peace is actually breaking it down. She takes her time and type it. And well done, Peace. Yes, 50 was projection. Thank you very much. Yes. Okay, Peace, you have a student here. She wants to enroll. This time around, you charge her 158,000. Yes, that's 100% of the total cost you are taking here, Abi. Yes, thank you very much. I think we are having a headway. So it's 40 over 200 multiplied by 100%. Abi, am I correct? Is that okay? Okay. So 50 was just a projection, it's not the actual, because if you use 50, you will get 25%. Let's do variance analysis before we take end value. Let's do variance analysis. What was your plan percent complete? What was your plan percent complete? That's value, percent, 25%. What was your actual percent complete? What's the variance? Yes. You know, I told you that I was going to come back and ask that question. If you recall, I made mention of it. That was coming to ask. So it's minus 5%. So to put all of this in summary, what you projected in 4 weeks was what? 25% when it comes to percentage. Then 4 weeks has come and gone, you check, you have only done 20%. Are you meeting up with the targets? No. You are behind. Are we seeing it now? Are we seeing how things are playing? Now, can you apply trend analysis here? By the time you keep on having minus 5%, minus 5%, minus 5%, are you going to deliver within schedule? No. This math sweet, you know, hard. As you do it, they tell you where you did. Remember, that's what I said. As soon as you do it, you will know the state where you are in your project. Now let's look at end value. Yes. Is there a formula for end value? Yes. Is there a formula for end value? Yes, sir. Okay, it's only one region that is saying there's formula. The other region. Is there a formula for end value? No. What's your name? Magdalene. Magdalene. Even the BLSF needs some mathematics. Okay. You know what? Just take that mathematics. I think that one it will help for this other one. You see, we have a recorded version of this our class. You will go, you will take it gradually. It will help you. I've taken my time to do this because this is the only critical part in, I think, apart from your scheduling. This is another part that is a bit technical. So that's why I'm playing around it. You see me, I'm not rushing. So take your time, it will digest. By the time we go to case 2, scenario 2 now, you see we'll just be flying in colors. You understand? Now, let's look at the end value. Yes, formula, Abby. What's the formula? Okay, so it makes life easy. Abby? So what's our BAC? Yes. Somebody said there's no formula for EVO. Wait, let me. Okay, Mr. Dewale, can you kindly check the metrics table, the end value management metrics table. Please check again. So we have our BAC to be 8 million, right? What's our actual percent complete? 20%. Can we do that calculation now? 1,600,000. What did you get? Same thing. All right. So now, 4 weeks. We are trying to analyze something now. In as much as they will not meet up with the targets, are they on budget? Are they ahead of budget? Below budget? So they never really spend past the amount what they're supposed to spend. So in this case, They're only falling behind schedule, but their money is still intact. Are we seeing it now? There are cases where the two will be the other way. Remember, all of these things are analysis. You just need to analyze and check. Imagine say we calculate this thing now. They give us 3.2 million. Because how much are we supposed to spend 4 weeks? 2 million. Abi? 4 weeks have come and gone. They have only done 20%. And they have spent 1.6 million. So it means with the 400K, they should be able to achieve 5% or so. Am I correct? Yes. There is money left. There is percentage left. Let's put it that way. Yes.
How we calculate actual cost for 5 weeks?
5 weeks. Yes. Very simple. Now, you see this question makes life easier because they made everything okay. Now, each week costs the same. Abi? Each week costs the same. Very simple. 4 weeks already taking 500,000. 4 weeks already is taking 500,000. Carry that 4 weeks. You say 5 weeks into the project, Abi? Carry that 4 weeks. Spread that 2 million across the 4 weeks. How much will we get, Adam? Yes. You don't understand? Okay. So we have 4 weeks. Based on percentage, we'll have done analyze 50 new tomato paste. Am I correct? Yes. 25%. 4 weeks. What you are asking now is, what if now 5 weeks? Not what you ask. I'm not telling you to make life easier. You see that 4 weeks that you had, you now need to further break it so that you can have an actual percent for a week, an actual cost for a week. So when you now have an actual cost and an actual percent for a week, you can now add it to 4 weeks, it gives you 5 weeks. Do you understand? It's analysis I'm doing for you. I'm not giving you formula. Do you understand? Did anybody understand what it's asking? So what it's asking is, just hold on, I'm coming. What it's asking is, what about if it is 5 weeks? What if it is 5 weeks into the project? What will be the actual percent complete? What will be the end value? Those are the 2 questions. Another way to do it. We have 16 weeks, Abi? That's what we have. Yes. Can we break that 16 weeks? That's 16 weeks that we have. Based on the tomato paste we have to analyze. Can we spread it? Can we do that?
Yes.
So when you spread it, you'll be able to determine for 1 week.
That's probably some.
Is that what you got? Is that what you got? You know, 500,000 naira for a week, for 4 weeks. Am I correct? For a week, we spend 500,000 a week. That's what we spend. So you already have 500,000. That's what we spend for you. Now hold on. Don't forget that we have something we call percentage. So you also need to replicate that. Because when you are looking for end value, you are looking for actual cost for that 5 weeks you mentioned. You are going to look for the end value and the actual cost. So you have to now rate it in percentage. So it's very simple. If you want to make it 6 weeks, just go back, scatter it. But what we did was just to make things easy. Do you understand? That one I think they call now advance. Do you understand? So everything is there. If it is 4.5 weeks, so if it is 7 weeks, so you have it there. Are we together? I think we really need to quickly move to the next one. If we decide to play the scenario around, at the end of the at the end of 4 weeks that you're supposed to give us 25%, you gave us 35%, for example, without compromising quality, without compromising anything. How much have you saved us? Yes, let's assume it's 35%. How much have you saved us? Let's play the scenario around. You can open the blind. Are you going to? There's confusion.
I think I can explain it about this privately.
Okay, so I'm saying that you were supposed to deliver 25% for us in 4 weeks. 25% means 50 tomato paste has been analyzed. But you have done more. You have done 35%. Now we gave you 2 million, but you use that 2 million to generate 35%. What's the additional value you are giving to us? Remember, value is money. What's the additional value you're giving to us? If you do that calculation. So what you are simply going to do is for you to, okay. What's the 35% of 8 million? 35. What's the 35% of 8 million? It's as simple as that. What's the 35% of 8 million? Yes, 2.8 million. So how much value have you given to us? 800,000. 800,000. Why I'm actually bringing that scenario is that it could be positive, it could also be negative. It's not just one way side. Although I know because of where the environment we are, we like negative things. Are we good? Understood? Yes. Have we been able to solve all the questions in case scenario 1? We have solved everything. We have solved everything, Abi?
Yes.
I am now free. Any other question? Joy, tell me, talk to me. You are fine. Can we take case 2 now? Yes, it's faster. Let's just take case 2. Those of us online, are we good to go? Shall we take case 2? Yes. 1.6, yes, correct. Yeah. Peace. I need to have your number. When I born children, are you? She gave us 2 scenarios, 2 mathematical. These are the advanced calculus people in school. Yes. Okay, so I've gotten good to go. So let's go. Case 2. Okay, so if you look at that your manual I shared on the group, you will see the calculation page of everything we have just solved. So it makes life easier too. So case 2, your project has a total budget of $300,000. You checked your record and find that you have spent $175,000 so far. The team has completed 40% of the project work. But when you check the schedule, it says they should have completed 50% of the work. Calculate the following: BAC, ACP, VEV, SV, CV, SPI, CPI. This one's simple now. And you already tell us to calculate all those things waiting for the table. No be waiting they ask us. Toluwani, no be waiting they ask us. So more calculate now. What will be the BAC for this project, Seth? What's the BAC? Those of us online, use the chat box. What's the BAC? What's the BAC? 200,000 US All right. So we have gotten the BA. Those of us on Zoom, yes. Yes, they are responding. This is your session. I think for the past 6 months, your session happens to be I'm looking for a word for it. Stress-free when it comes to monitoring and controlling this end value management analysis. Please, a round of applause for yourselves. Yes. Because usually I've had to share the manual first. Oh, now somebody's clapping on Zoom. Hey. Usually I will share the manual first. I will direct them to go and look at the particular end value management analysis that they should read on their own, so that when we come, that makes things easier. But I am so shocked with the feedback that at this very short period of time, you guys have been able to assimilate this end value management analysis, and I'm so happy because I know that by the time I give you the assignment is one way, just finish it. You understand? So let's make progress. 300K, Abi. What's the AC? The AC in this project actual cost? 175,000 US dollars so far. Correct. What's your plan value? What's your plan value? I don't think it's given. Plan value is not given. Is plan value there? I don't think so. I've not gotten response. I can never go. Now let me just try to tell myself saying no. In that question, is there plan value?
No.
You said? Okay. So it's more like yes, it's money, but it's a projection. Yes. So what they gave us here, if you look at it, a total budget of 300,000 US dollars. That's the BAC, Abi.
Yes.
You check your record and find out that you have spent is telling us that actual costs we have spent. It's not saying that you're supposed to have spent. When you say you're supposed to have spent, it now becomes a projection, a plan. But they are telling you that you have already spent it. That's the actual cost. So there's no place where they said you're supposed to have spent so amount, but you did not spend it. So if you check, so there's no plan value. So now we need to look for what plan value is. Do we have formula for plan value? What's the formula? Okay, so there's plan percent complete, right?
Yes.
Now what? So is it 40% or 50%? Which one?
50%.
You see the language? They should have completed. That's plan. So it's 50%. So now we impute the formula. Plan value is equals to BAC multiplied by plan percent complete. Abi? So 300,000 multiplied by 50% will give us how much? 150 US dollars. Very correct. Yes, I'm deliberately pausing because I need to be sure that we are all following. I'll soon round up. Yes. What's your name, sir? Prosper. Obaize? Ah, so nice to meet you. Yes. What's the confusion? You know, no mass, me too, no. So, as she don't tell you, make me say, I tell you my own. What did she tell you? Make I know. Make I tell you my own too.
Why do you use why do you use
Now you have been the old one bottle of Coke before. Eh? Okay, no be you. So you don't get one bottle of Coke too. Eh? Okay, so what's the next one? PV. Okay, we have gotten our PV, Abby. EV. What's the formula for end value? Ah, people where they this Zoom today, don't be here. They see they fire me mathematics for here. Well done. Okay, let me call names. Mr. Adewale, yes. Well done. Mukaila, well done. Amalik, well done. Peace Evans, thank you very much. Okay, Amalik is saying, come again. How did we get $150? Okay. Okay, we didn't get $150. Okay, how did we get $150? So we say, what is the formula for planned value? I will say planned value is equals to BAC multiplied by planned percent complete. And our BAC is 300,000 and our planned percent complete is 50%. So when you do that calculation, it will give you 150%. So if you multiply 300,000 US dollars times 50, it will not give you 150%. Am I correct? If you do that multiplication direct, will it give you that? Please check. It will not. So it means you need to divide that 50 by 100%, or is it the other way around? Is it 100% you are 300,000 you are dividing by 100, or 50 you are dividing by 100? I think it's 50 you are dividing by 100. So the formula will be 300 US dollars multiplied by 50% over 100%. That's when you get $150,000. But if you multiply it straight up, you have more money than even the budget.
But the easiest way to consider
When you don't put decimal, you don't cause more confusion. Yes. You know, like me now, I don't know decimal, if not until recently. And they say there is a point you will get to first after. Do you understand? So we are still trying to understand the one that is visible before we begin to put points. Okay, we are good. Okay, Malik is good. So have we gotten end value now? What's the formula for end value? Multiply by actual percent complete. What's our BAC? 300,000 US dollars, but multiply by 40% over 100. So we are going to get 120,000 US dollars. Okay. Let's check variance. What's the formula for variance? Schedule variance, rather. Formula for schedule variance. What's the formula for schedule variance? SV is equals to EV minus planned value, Abi?
Yes.
So what's our end value? 120,000 US dollars. What's our planned value? What's the variance? Eh? What's our variance? What's the variance? What's the variance? Is it 30 or 13?
Yes.
I'm trying to move on. All right. Can we check for CV? Yes. What's the formula for CV? Very well. What's our end value? $120. What's our actual cost? Okay. So what's our CV? So is this on budget, ahead of budget, or below budget? Cost variance. You know, that language, they always cause confusion. You know, so when you hear ahead, but ahead means say we don't spend above what we get. On budget means we deal with in line. Below, we never even spend which way we're supposed to spend. So this is minus 55,000 US dollars, Abi? So this guy has spent extra 55,000 US dollars. Damn, Abi? This money reached by something now. Eh? Minus 55,000 US dollars. 55,000 US dollars. How much is that to Naira? That's serious money now, at least. So there was a time where this money was minus $5. There was a time where this money was minus $10. There was a time when this money was minus $1,000. There was a time when this money was minus $20,000. Did you know how this man got here? He was not monitoring. He was not what? He was not monitoring. And that's why he find himself here. Now, let's go. SPI. Is there a formula for SPI? What's the formula? Very well. So what's our end value? 120,000 US dollars divided by 150,000 US dollars. Am I correct? Yes. It's now 0.8. Now, Lawrence,
Yes, sir.
we have gotten to that place you were asking question. Do you really want to ask that question now? So I'm going to explain what this 0.8 means as we make progress so that you know. Yes. SPI 0.8, Aisha, Amira, they do competition here. If you see the chat box, if I compile it, it is more than advanced calculus. By the time they print this thing, it's chapter 1 to what they have done here. Yes. Behind schedule and CV is ahead of budget. Very well, Mr. Adewale. Thank you so much. Yes. So CPI, cost performance index. What's the formula? Yes. So what do we have for our EV? What do we have for our actual costs? Now, pay attention to this. You may want to write. Okay, I think it's in that manual. Don't worry, don't write anything. That manual I shared, just hold on to it. CV and CPI helps you to know how you are doing with your spending. SV and SPI both helps you to know how you are doing with your schedule. Now, some of us here may be wondering, can I really use this in my project? Yes. All you need is to put in the parameters in place and you will use it. You understand? Yes. Cost variance and cost performance index helps you to know how you are doing in terms of spending. Is there costs? Costs. SV and SPI is telling you how you are doing in terms of schedule, your timing. So these are control methods that we can use. As I leave this point, always check these parameters now and then. And of course, so case 3. So this is what we just resolved. This is what we just solved. This is the page for it. And let me see. My projector has to come up. Yes. So those of us online, please. I think some of us have turned in our attendance. If you have not done so, please, this is the right time for you to do it. So you have this on your manual too. When your SV is 0, you are on schedule. Remember, we just calculated SV now. We had one 0.8, we had one 0.69. Am I correct? Yes, we just did that. So now I put this in place. When your schedule variance is 0, you are on schedule. When your SV is negative, you are behind schedule. When your SV is positive, you are ahead of schedule. In that one, we just resolve. What was our SV? Minus 30,000 US dollars. Yes. So when your SV is negative, you are behind schedule. So we are behind schedule on that project. So we are behind schedule on that project. Now we are also going to check whether we are ahead of budget. Those are the two negative things. Now, when your CV is 0, you are on budget. When your CV is negative, you are ahead of budget. When your CV is positive, it means you are running below budget. Now, in that one we just calculated, where is our CV? What was our CV? So we are ahead of budget. When your SPI is less than 1, you are behind schedule. When your SPI is 1, you are on schedule. When your SPI is above 1, you are ahead of schedule. The one we just calculated, what was our SPI?
0 points.
0 point.
Yes.
So where are we? So when your SPI is less than 1, you are behind schedule. So we are behind schedule. We are ahead of budget. Let's move ahead. So when you hear of SPI being above 1, it does not mean 2. It means 1 point something. That point you're talking about now, it means 1 point something. Because if it is 2, what you are trying to tell us is that this is schedule performance index bar. What you are trying to tell us is that you build skyscraper, you didn't spend any time. It means you are Merlin or Harry Potter. So you didn't spend any time. You wake up in Lagos, you just appeared here. No. So that's what it means. So it can never get to 2. That's what I'm trying to say. You understand? No matter how you speed reach, you must spend time. Are we correct? No matter the project where you run, no matter whether they dash you the money, you must spend money. Because there are people who will not do things for free. You will pay. Let's make progress. CPI now. When your CPI is 1, you are on budget. When it is more than 1, it means you are running below budget. When it is less than 1, it means you are running above budget. Where was our CPI?
0.69.
0.69. So our CP 0.69. So it's not up to 1, Abi. When it is less than 1, it means you are running above budget. So that still complements what we have been doing. Case 3, on your own. What will happen is I'm going to share instruction on how you are going to carry it out. Case 3. I will share with you the manual. For those of them who have left Zoom, I will share the manual. I will share a recording where you can go back. It just takes it from the end value management analysis up to the end. In fact, the way it was recorded, by the time you take it through, you get to a point, you will just pause the video because you have already understood everything. But I don't think this particular session have this problem because you people are too good. I have had so numerous. So for some of us who may have 1 or 2, please, you can just quickly go back. Now, let me round up. Let me round up so that we can all go home and enjoy our weekend. Control quality. What do we need to do when we control quality? We want to periodically check the results we have gotten, whether there is error in it or not. Yes. So it could be functional error. It could be missing specification. Just check to be sure that you meet the specification as it has been said. So that's what you do when you control quality. Basically, you just want to check, you monitor as the case may be. And of course, except the result requires testing. There are some results you will generate, you need to test it first before you. So when it requires testing, all you need to do is find out if it is working according to the specification that the sponsor has given you. You also control resources. You want to make sure that the resources that are available is being used for what it is meant for. Yes. Musa went to fill our Helios tank over the weekend. And he now got an information that there is party happening in Kaduna. And the next thing, off he went to Kaduna with our Helios, full tank. By the time we come back, fuel don't remain half tank. We work Monday, Tuesday, fuel finish. And that fuel is supposed to carry us throughout that week. In such a case, you did not monitor, you did not control your resources. Office data. What do you use it for? Instagram, TikTok challenge, ceiling challenge. Is that what you use it for? We need to monitor it. You understand? So you control resources, your material, your labor, all of these things are things you need to control. What else do we do? And of course, there are tools and resources, techniques you are going to be using to control resources. Change request is one of them. You may always request. Now, talking about change requests briefly, you know, we have been talking about change requests when things are not going as planned, you go back to the sponsor, you ask for one or two. Am I correct? That's what we have been discussing, change requests. Let me just quickly share a personal story of mine of a project I had to make some changes. Yes. How many of us are currently serving? We're currently in our service year. And so virtually all of us, so you will relate. How many of us did our orientation in Abuja camp? Yeah, so you can picture the environment. I also did my orientation there too. So when I went to camp, the idea was for me to go and look for a wife. Yes, it's very simple. Truth be told, like I told you before, I studied architecture. There was really no time for social life. We are throughout in our studio, we are drawing from morning till daybreak. So most time when we go home, it is somewhere around 7:30 in the morning. We just go and freshen up and come back to the next day again. So our department is in a strategic location. So anybody coming into the school, you see them. So our window is just by the road. So what we do is a way of motivating ourselves. The only cruise we catch is that 6 a.m. in the morning, 6:30. You see departments like mass communication, business admin, SLT, they have lots of people. They usually admit, and that's where you see different people. Now, in my department, we don't really have much. The people we have, most of us are guys. So there are really no people within the. So that morning, when these people are trooping in, we just go by the window, we begin to look at them. We see ladies. Ladies is our focus. See them. You see the tall, you see the short, you see the dark. Then we begin to appoint each of them as wife or herself, because the whole department is full of guys. Now it's not as if we don't have guys in our department, ladies in our department, but after first semester, those ladies begin to look like men. So that's it. So they are not people we go after. So we begin to appoint ourselves. So, and that was how we roll over the years till we finish from our institution. So no social life, no, some of us don't even sabi punchline. And that was, so when I went to camp, I said, this is the ground for finale. You understand? So I happened to be one of the first person that got to camp anyway. So as soon as they blew that bingo from the hostel, after I've settled in, I came to the parade ground. It's day one, everywhere was scanty, but I was scanning. That was when I also discovered that it's not only me that had project plan. There were other people to come and execute the same project. As I was plotting my graph towards one babe that I saw, another guy was also plotting his own graph towards, we're now intersecting at a point. So at that point, it happens that the next day, there are new people that comes in. Different people. The plot that you have before, that graph, you go clean and you go start another one. And I did that for like 4, 5 days. And how do you find wife on that 21 days? How? But people will say it's possible, right? But the truth is, yes, somebody will say you need to place your focus. Yes, every day new people coming. And that was, so I had to just change. I said, no, there's no point, because by the time you see this one, you will see another one, you see this one, you see another one. So I decided to pause, decided to make friends. I think during my stay in camp, I made close to 200 to 300 friends. Yes, like I have their contacts. That was how I was everywhere. I was playing. You will see me, I have a platoon, but you see me in platoon 1 today, tomorrow you see me in platoon 2, 10, I'll rotate the whole platoon. That was how flexible it was. So I decided to change because I just realized that it will not work. So I just said, maybe one of these days, when I'm scrolling through my WhatsApp, I'll just pick one of those people that have saved their number. So this one will be me. Does anybody care to know how that project is going?
Yes.
You want to do Amebo?
Yes.
Any Instablog agent here? Any Instablog agent here? How many of us know that song? I think 2 years ago, I mean, was it last year? I see the wrong kitty kitty. I see the wrong kata kata. How many of us know that song? Yeah. And there's another one that says adulthood na scam. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, forget about it. So monitor communication is another thing we do when we are running our project, when we are monitoring and controlling. You basically want to make sure that all the information you are sending gets across to the stakeholders. And of course, you expect feedback. The feedback you expect is what you will now use to generate more information and provide to your stakeholders. So one thing I've also realized in life is that communication makes life easier. Once you tell me what the issue is, that's when I can provide it. Am I correct? You tell me, this is what is disturbing me. That's the only way I can provide the help. Especially when it comes to relationship, when it comes to family, when it comes to our spouse, when it even comes to our work. And I've said to myself, for me personally, one of the interpersonal skills I want to develop for myself when I get married is for me to have the ability to discern. You see, women are studied and you need to continue to study. Yes. So for me, I've said to myself, before my wife gets pregnant in my compound, I'm going to build something like a mini store. And in that store, I'm going to have firewood. I'll have clay pots. I will have palm oil. I have palm kernel. I'll have these leaves. You see that one that I used to do a core or something? Yes, I'll have them stored. You know why? It's very easy. One middle of the night, your wife may just tap you. Your pregnant wife will tap you. I want to eat jollof rice made with red oil, cooked with firewood, served inside calabash. What do you do? What do you do? So you need to be proactive. And I've also said to myself, pregnant women love eggs that is fried with palm oil. So I will learn how to do that. And when I'm making my teas, 3 varieties of teas, the hot, the cold, the warm. Nobody will kill me for me. Yes. So when you request, I bring the 3 varieties. You choose one there. If you say it's too cold, there's a warm one. If you say it's too warm, you understand? There's just different sugar level. And I'll also be peaceable with my neighbor because my neighbor's food may be what my wife wants to eat. You understand? So these are proactive measures. At this point, I was expecting you guys to actually do okay. So guys, it is quite important that you have punchlines. In as much as we want to sing Stanley Okore's Billionaire Onyeji Kashi, you also need to have words of affirmation. Women love it when you praise them. Yes, that's the first thing that quickly brings smiles to them before you begin to give them cash. Yes. For me, you want to say otherwise. I've also confirmed that you like money. I didn't hide that. But of course, words of affirmation is one thing that also keeps life going. Because at the end of the day, when you get involved with your spouse, affirmations like this, money may not be enough. Yes, you understand. We have had experiences of people with money and they still chase after people who are giving them the necessary words of affirmation. That's how women are. So you need to apply everything. You know, application of knowledge, their projects. So you need to take it seriously. You understand? Yes. For me, I have said I'm going to have a punchline. No matter the tribe I married from, no matter the name they give to her, I am going to give her my own personal name. And her name is going to be called Aisha. Yes. You'll be wondering why. The simple reason is because I just want to wake up in the morning and look at her and say, This one you are looking so beautiful today. Is your name Aisha? Because you didn't enter my Aisha. So you need some words of affirmation. So your girlfriends and all of that. So please, guys, it is quite important that you communicate. All of these things we are saying is just communication. Whatever works for you is fine. Do we understand? Yes. Whatever works for you is fine. But communication is one key aspect. Go back and look at your project execution. Look at the 10 processes involved. There is one thing there that is applicable to all of the other 49 processes. Communication. That's where you find it. Communication. Because for you to integrate project management, what do? You communicate. For you to monitor and control project work, you communicate. Control scope or control anything where you control. Even when you are dealing with end value management analysis, was it not communication we're doing? It's one powerful interpersonal skills that you need to hold on to. You need to know how to communicate. Send out that information. Are we together? So it's one key. That's the whole thing I hold dearly. And that is why I have so many funny stories around it. So what other things do? We monitor risk. We want to check, look at all the strategies you have, all the strategies you have planned for, you deploy them. And of course, you begin to activate them once you begin to see those risks as they're happening in your projects. There is this lady I saw on Instagram one time. She was saying, look, as you can see, the key to the car has broken in the car mouth. How did she even put it? But right now, I'm leaving the car for Oga to come and carry his car, and I'm going home. Yes. So risk. That risk was shared. It was also escalated because I get to hear about it. Now, when you see risk, what do? It's either you share, you enhance, you communicate, and you share. You understand? There are some risks you may not be able to manage. As soon as you see it, you escalate. So whichever strategy you are using, please just make sure that everyone is carried along. Then, of course, the next one is what else do we control? We control procurement. Procurement is another thing we control. Vendors, the third party. How do you manage them? You have a contractual agreement with them. Am I correct? Yes. So that's what your whole relationship is based on. So based on that contractual agreement. And that's why from time to time, you need to inspect what they are doing. You audit whatever they are doing to be sure that they are maintaining the expectation you expect them to meet. And of course, what else do? We monitor stakeholders' engagement. Basically, you are looking out for their worries, their concerns, and you begin to attend to such worries and concerns. Please do not leave any stakeholders' worry unattended to. Do not leave any stakeholders' worries unattended to. It's very, very important. Those guys can frustrate you. Those guys may make you run and leave your own project. Please take all their concerns, take it very, very seriously. So one of the ways you can do that is for you to pay attention. Active listening. Active listening is one thing you need to do. Indecisive. Remember, the project has, when you say indecisive, there is a matter on ground that they need to take action. Am I correct? Yes. So just like when we're discussing three-point constraint, I think we have time, cost, and scope, right? Yes. It affects any of those. So they know. Who asked the question? Okay. So she asked that, what if the stakeholders are indecisive? That's the question she asked. As we're talking about stakeholders' engagement, yes, they must always come to a point where they will make decisions. It's very, very important. Now, if they don't make decision, remember that there is a schedule. There's a timeline. Am I correct? So that will not be on you. Like the project we were doing, we had to pause because we needed budget to be reviewed. And they didn't answer us. Actually, we have sent that information right way before we stop. But they didn't attend to it and we stopped. So what the project so far was an extension of time. You understand? So that will also happen. We go elaborate.
Like for instance,
Mm.
you want to pay this bill. And your stakeholder doesn't respond and say you want new color. And you're like, okay, you want the lighter brown, the darker brown, and you're like, I'm not sure, what do you think? Do what in your mind. In that case, you go ahead and do what in your mind, because you might let's say, I don't like what you choose for me. So what do you think that?
You are an interior designer. You are an interior designer. Because you must, when you speak, you must only speak from where it's touching. And that's why I asked that question. You see, you are a professional. And the clients expect you to advise. You understand? But what you only advise, you don't make decisions. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones sponsoring it. You understand? So what you can do is for you to be available to provide advice. I think if you use this, it will be better. I've done it so please. You may begin to show some. So at the end of the day, you may end up convincing them to actually take. You understand? But at the end of the day, they have that decision. You understand? So in a case where they are indecisive, it means it's going to delay. Just put it that way, it's going to delay. Because you cannot go ahead, you cannot lift a stone now when the guy never seen it fly. You understand? So they must approve, just like the way we say authorize. Can I go ahead and authorize this? So that anything goes wrong, you have to. You understand? Let me see if I can stop sharing monitor. What page is this? I don't know why it's not projecting. So it's supposed to project. Let's make progress. I think we're almost done. So it's not a case of it's supposed to project. Oh, this is the 3. Yes, like I said, monitoring and controlling usually takes time. Like I think it has projected. It takes time, and because we try to finish up, so we're having this. So let's make progress. So I think I've responded to stakeholders. So basically what you want to do is active listening. Active listening, yes. Pay attention to just read their body language. Yes, it's also part of the things you need to put in place. Yes, I would have mentioned my own encounter with my former boss. But I think if I had taken you project execution, I would have mentioned that. You see, let me just put it this way. Each and every one of you, after this training, you need to really define what you want. You really need to define your words. Time is of the essence. You must view your time as money. It's very, very important. You understand? The time you will spend moving around, check. Is it worth it? Especially now, when you move. If you move one small move, 1,000 don't drop. So it's relatable. So your time is of the essence. Your time is of the essence. For me, I prefer not coming here to come and work. So I work from home. So most of the times you see any post on your WhatsApp, I'm working from the house. And I still achieve what I need to achieve even coming down here. So except maybe when we have conversations like this, of course, it cannot happen in my house. So we need to all come. So you must, the value for it, and that is why it is quite important that any facilitator that appears before you in Dexter Hills is well prepared, well groomed. Because we must make sure that you feel the value of you coming here. You cannot go back the way you came. So we must instill that value. So you must define this. I woke up to my boss one morning, I told him I'm not working again. It's not as if I told him I'm not working again per se. He actually created a platform for me to exit. He told it at my face and said, if you know you don't want to work again, come and tell me. Come to the office on Monday, and I went there. You know, usually there is one mistake I made in life that I would not want any of you to make, even in your service here. Never give an impression that you don't have anywhere else to go. Never give an impression that you don't have anywhere else to go. And when you now realize that there are other places that you can go to, that is when you are already defining your worth. If you know your worth, once an environment is not conducive for you, what do? You exit, you walk away. Till today, he couldn't believe it. Because this was a man that when employment relationship, there is no how your life, how is your family. So it's purely the work. Not whether you die or you survive. You don't consign that. And for that 6.5 years I was with him, it is just yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Your opinion, huh? He doesn't want to hear it. Suggestion, you don't know anything. That's I say it bluntly, you don't know anything. And when somebody keeps telling you this for the past 6.5 years, even the things where you don't know. Yes, you will lose your self-confidence. So please, look at the environment where you are, the value you have provided. Is it worth it? Yes, I will tell you for a fact. Nothing comes for nothing. I paid for it, but I paid for experience. Now I can relate the experience to you. If I did not do it, I won't have the experience to relate. Am I correct? Yes. So for wherever you are, for whatever value you are giving, for your time, please value your time as money. I think somebody said time and money or something. Yes. So I was speaking to him face to face. He is somebody that doesn't look eyeball to eyeball. I was looking at him face to face. I say, Oga, right now, you told me that if I want to continue working, that's what you said. Because when I now went to the office, now started scolding me, you know, if you are inside, you are the one that's supposed to give me the point. I say, you don't finish. But the question you asked me on Saturday was, I should come, let's deliberate if I want to work. I think you should have asked me that question first. Then I appreciated him, I appreciated the organization for all the welfare, school, and all of that. And I said, at this point, I need to negotiate to move forward. It was my service year. I did my training here too in Dexter and Heroes. It was my service year. And I said, look, we need to really negotiate. I'll tell you, there are sacrifices you make, and you make reference to it later. And I go to site. Monday till Friday, guess how much I'm being paid for a day I appeared on site? Guess how much? 5,000. You are a nice person now. You are a nice person. Anne has mentioned it. 1K. Inside it, my transportation is there. Inside it, I will feed. And I was doing that for 3 years on that project. Yes, that sacrifice I had to pay. Because when he first offered me the open floor, I speak with a few of my guys who have all graduated as an architect from school. Say, well, guys, just take them. You know, say, you don't really get experience. Just take them, make you take. And that was it. But you must know your worth. You must define your worth for you to either stay or leave. If you know you have not gathered experience, you have not gotten what it takes for you to command respect, for you to enter maybe into an interview room and wow them. Stay, get the knowledge. Don't be in a hurry. Get the knowledge and gradually you move. I met Mr. Amadi at CDS. I did my training, and like from our conversation today, from our discussion today, you will know that I play. Yes, and that's how I disturb. So it is hardly that you don't recognize me in a classroom. And that's how he met me. And he said, young man, just come. He revived my confidence. He's a mentor. He did revive my confidence. I'll tell you, it's one of those things. I think when I visited most CDS, I tell them, confidence is something that once you have the right person to instill it in you, you don't go fear anybody. You go speak. He revives it. So you need to be in an environment where you are what? Elevated, not where you are dragged down. Till today, my boss was shocked where I got that confidence to tell him that, look, this is the amount you will pay now. If you don't go pay, we go our separate ways. He tried to negotiate, but I was already tired. So I even swim. When December reached, normal, carrying a record book, go give her. He give me rice, I collect. Give me Pepsi, I collect. Give me graduate, I collect. I work for him. So he was thinking maybe there will be a change of mind in the new year. I sent him my resignation and my disengagement letter myself. I typed it on the system. I sent it to him. It took him 2 days for him to sign because he didn't believe it. Why? I gave an impression that I don't have anywhere else to go. So it was still a shock. When I visited where we were working, the guy wasn't happy. He was like, this guy would be. Went to tell the project manager that he doesn't want to see this guy here, that he's not working with him again, blah, blah, blah. Project manager just come and say, look, see, I know your boss. Don't worry, for the meantime, just excuse us so that we don't cause an issue. Am I standing today? Yes. And that's life. So, during your service here, gather all, and you're already on the process, and that's why you are here today. Gather all you can. Gather all the experience you can. And structure your CV. We are going to be sharing that with you. Structure your CV. And please be confident. Public speaking and presentation, hopefully should start next week. I'm trying to push for that. Because that's one way you can also get your self-confidence. Speak, your ability to speak in public. You understand? And make sure you engage in any activity that has to do with public speaking. It boosts your confidence. In church, in mosques, anywhere. In presentation, in your various CDS. Don't shy away from leadership role. Mr. Madi has taught me how to talk too much. Please, let's just go back to what we were doing. Validate scope happens when the organization and your team, and of course yourself, you are done with the project and you decide to invite the project sponsor, and it comes and confirms that all you have done is okay, everything is fine, then you can now go ahead and close your project. So that's what happened during validation, validating scope. And of course, project comes to an end. I wouldn't want to speak otherwise. Some organizations have a way of closing their projects. So if you walk into an organization and they have a way of closing their project, leave your first class, follow their own. Just follow them. You understand? So what usually happens when they are closing projects, you see that they'll call for a meeting, they'll gather together, they will discuss in that meeting lesson that is being learned and all of that. And they all sign that document that, yes, we are done with this project. Everybody go. You understand? So as a project manager on your own, just call your team. After we are done with this class now, just say, yeah, let's go to Transcorp. You'll be smiling, hey. Some people are ready, but you don't go follow, because you don't chop. You understand? So, and at that point, you also begin to place call to your head of HR. Madam, we don't finish our project, begin to reassign some of my team members to other tasks. You understand? So that's what happened during your closing of your project. So very important. You write a report and you submit it, then it becomes part of your contribution to the company's organizational process assets. I believe that was mentioned during your introduction. Yes.
You said something now, right? You said, can a project manager be a HR manager?
Okay, so those are two different areas. Yes. You know, it is more like when we call our soul pastors daddy, our father. It's more like it. So, as a project manager, you may have the ability to manage human resource, but indirectly you are doing it, but it is not purely human resource because you are managing team. And that is where motivation comes in. There is this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. How many of us know that triangle? Yes, you begin to find out, you guys are my team members. When Anne does like this, what does it mean? If I understand what it means I've been paying attention to her. You understand? And that is the only way I can provide a motivation strategy. Have you been to the site before where they are doing where they are doing casting? Those guys they call Mawaka, you see them running up and down. What do you need to give them to motivate them? Go and buy them action letters. Just give them somebody that is moving 1 minute per does this place will begin to move less than 10 seconds. That's motivation strategy. So check your team. Where does this person stay? Can I give now where transport don't high and I can fuel my car? Can I give her a lift? That's a motivation. You understand? So indirectly, you are doing some HRO work because HRO will actually look out for your welfare. But as a project manager, you may not really go deep, but just the surface, you may just understand. And you know, there are different kinds of project managers. There are one you tell your problem, there are one you cannot even tell. Like my boss, I don't tell him anything that has to do with. You understand? At some point, but actually, not to paint him dark, he was actually a good man. It's just that he has poor relationship with workers. Yes, he was a good person. He was very helpful. Very, very helpful. He was a good man. Trust me, tomorrow, if there's any project I have, if pride will allow him to collect it, because he has pride. But you know, human being not a good finish. You must have your dark side and your good side. But he's a good man. He's a good man. He was very, very helpful. He was especially when during my school year, he was very, very helpful. But he lacks that managerial skill of workers, and so he just sees you as the only thing I have with you is work. After work, nothing else. You understand? So, of course, like I made mention, carry your team member somewhere, go and relax yourself, enjoy. It doesn't happen. You understand? So remember, you cannot close your project if you have unsettled claims. Claims here means disputes, disagreements, which can lead to litigation. So please, before you close your project, make sure you settle any rift you have with any of your vendors. Very, very important. You understand? So when you have a dispute or a disagreement with any of your vendor, one of the ways you want to actually resolve it is using ADR, alternative dispute resolution. Yes, you understand? So one approach is you call the guy, no, we'll settle this matter now between us. And the guy no agree. You call another party where no really non-interested party. Then settle out. The guy no agree. You see no agree. The next thing is you approach the court of you go to court. Abi, you just go to court. But even a lawyer will tell you, do you have any appeal to you in the house? Any appeal to you? No lawyers in the house? They will even tell you, they will advise you. This matter we want, I won't carry go to court. You know really what I'm more just settle. You understand? So the most important thing when you are closing your project is, or the final phase of your project is that you deliver what is in the specification. You deliver what the sponsor gave you. Because that's the main goal of the project, no be so? Remember, there's a motivation behind why we embark on the project in the first place. So did he deliver it? Remember the analogy Mr. Madi made with you guys in defining what a successful project is and what is not. And basically, a project is not successful if it does not meet the requirement, if it does not meet the specification. So whatever you are delivering that day, ensure that it meets the specification. That's when you have a successful project. And of course, project comes to an end. So these are the materials we use for discussing project management with you guys. If you need a copy, just quickly send me a mail. I'll forward it to your mailbox and all of that. How many of us does watch Nigerian movie? At the end of that movie, you hear the end, followed by glory be to God. To God be So that's the end of our discussion on project management. Those of us online, thank you so much for your time. Yes. I think all of you have sent in your name. Those of you who are here, you have sent in your name. Thank you very much. The assignment will be communicated to you. So it's of two-way parts. The first one is you are solving that case 3 on a sheet of paper, just 1 page. Just manage it. You are also to tell us the status fact. That's what it says. I don't know if you have seen it. It says determine the status of that project. So it means you need to calculate from BAC to CPI, and of course, you now tell us the status. So that's what it is. So it's of 2 parts. The first one, you solve it on a sheet of paper and you snap it. Then the second one is an objective that you respond to. I tell you, if you solve the question on the question paper and the first one, if you solve it yourself on a sheet of paper, you'll be able to answer the objective. It's as simple as that. So once you submit, we get your name. As soon as we get your name, we generate your login details and publish. If you don't do the assignment, those of us online, if you don't do the assignment, no login details for you. Yes, you will not get login details. That's the truth. Time na money. You go pay. Time is of the essence. No, I think the assignment should come on Monday. Between Monday and Wednesday, you should be done.
So please, you don't have time.
You have another of your program started today, right? Self-led. You saw it. Yes, your self-led started today. Your CEO or EBM started today. You didn't see it on the platform? Is that? Yeah. It was posted, so that one has started. Before you know now, December 1st is here, you start writing that one. So we want to quickly finish. You have done HRM, right? You have done HRM. So the next one should be PMP. Finish PMP so by next week, Friday, Saturday, you're supposed to finish your assessment. And yes.
You know, how this December, a lot of us have not out this. I don't have time for this.
Okay. Yes, it will be shared, Mr. Adewale. It will be shared.
What is that?
Wait, is that rain?
So next week Friday is what day? So do at next week that we're having training.
How are we going to submit those of us online?
We're writing minutes. So there's a lot happening.
But can you attempt the assignments? Okay, so there's flexibility around extra handles consulting anyways, but the truth is if you don't move at the pace where other people are moving, when other people are enjoying the benefit of maybe their certificate is out, yours may not be out. You understand? So why we do not say you must submit do you understand why we are not saying only you must submit? At the same time, there will be you know now, you know what when we're talking about perform integrated change control, since you don't agree our own, there will always be alternative, but this is the result. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you everyone on Zoom.
How are we going to submit those of us online?
I'm going to Zoom call from here. Yes. The transport movement. Shall we December? We'll just go out for December. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone. So the recording will be shared. This particular recording will be shared, but of course, the one you will use to take your assignment will also be shared. Thank you so much, guys. See you some other time. Maybe public speaking class, I may be there. Thank you so much.
So, those of us online, how are we going to submit the assignment when we're done?
Okay, no, it will be communicated in the WhatsApp group. Don't worry about it. Yes, the instruction will be communicated. I will share that on the WhatsApp group. Maybe on Monday morning, you will see it. Because you have data analysis by tomorrow evening, so I don't want to distract you by sending that. So on Monday morning, you will see that. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.